We are discussing different kind of medical emergencies. In my previous video we have seen what is snake bite, poisoning, and today's topic is anaphylactic reactions. We can say this as an anaphylactic shock also. So we will see what is anaphylactic reactions. So anaphylactic reactions are due to a result of antigen antibody reaction in a sensitized person. So it can be due to a previous exposure or a consequences of a previous exposure, and this anaphylactic reactions can be a mild one, moderate, or severe. So most cases it is mild, but if it is severe then it is going to be a life threatening where the medical emergency happens. So anaphylaxis happens rapidly, usually reaching a peak severity within 5 to 30 minutes. So the patient may become very severely affected within 5 to 30 minutes. So emergency management is essential in anaphylactic reaction cases. So where the term comes from? So if we see the definition or meaning of anaphylaxis, it is derived from a Greek word called ana, means back or again. Phylaxis means protection or immunity or guarding. So why the phylaxis protection comes, why the word ana came, this we will discuss in the pathophysiology. So anaphylaxis, ana means again or back, and phylaxis means protection. So an anaphylactic reaction is defined as it is an acute systemic hypersensitivity reaction that occurs within seconds or minutes or maybe after an hour after exposure to certain foreign substances. We say it as antigen. So an anaphylactic reaction is an acute systemic hypersensitivity reaction that occurs within seconds or minutes after exposure to certain foreign substances. So it is the definition. We'll see what are all the causes. So before moving on to causes, if we look into the statistics, so in India the statistics of anaphylactic reaction is not very clear, and nowhere it is mentioned properly, but most of the incidents comes from a anesthetic agents. Okay, so most of the anaphylactic reactions comes from pre-anesthetic agents, sometimes from the antibiotic reactions. So what are the causes of anaphylactic reactions? It can be medications like penicillin or any other antibiotics, iodine contrast material. That is the reason why we ask patients before injecting iodine contrast, we will ask for an allergy history. The reason is because the patient may go into anaphylactic reactions. Pre-anesthetic agents, so the anesthesia medicines which we give before surgery can be an cause. Latex allergy, which is very very common. So the allergic to latex material can also cause an anaphylactic reaction. Insects bites, it can be bee, wasp, yellow jacket, and hornet. But I have a doctor who I know that he was allergic to an ant. So even an ant causes an anaphylactic reaction, ant bite. So insects, foods, especially eggs and peanuts are very common in Western countries. So food, allergic to food, repeated administration of oral or IV therapeutic agents. If a patient is keep on getting any medications frequently, may be affected by the anaphylactic reactions. So if you see the pathophysiology of anaphylaxis, so what happens here, the allergens what we discussed as a causes like food, drugs, chemical, insects bite and others will induce, once it is exposed in our body, produce IgE. Okay, that is an immunoglobulin which produces antibodies. And mast cell, it will stimulate the mast cell to produce anti-inflammatory reactions. So during that anti-inflammatory reactions, histamines, leukotrienes, prostaglandins, cytokines, all these things are inflammatory markers where the body immediately responds to against the antigen. So when this happens, it will be circulate, all these inflammatory markers will be circulated in the blood, will affect all the system, especially central nervous system, heart, lungs, and gastrointestinal, and sometimes even kidney. So this is what we will see in the clinical manifestations. So what happens in pathophysiology, all the allergen will trigger an antibody production. For example, if you are drinking milk and the milk is allergic to you, what happens, our body will think it as an antigen and will produce antibody against the milk in the first exposure. So in the second exposure, what happens, when once you drink milk, immediately the body will react to the milk, causing you a shock, anaphylactic shock or anaphylactic reaction, severe anaphylactic reactions. Hope you understood. Yes. So at the first exposure, the body will produce antibody against any allergic thing, and what happens when you expose to the same allergen again, the reactions will be severe because the body has the antibody against that allergen already, and it will start reacting immediately. So what are all the inflammatory triggers happens is histamine, tryptokinase, tryptase, leukotrienes, and cytokines, prostaglandins. So these are the very basic anti-inflammatory reactions or chemicals produced in our body. These all are produced and circulated in the blood, and it will affect all the system in our body, causing severe clinical signs. So the clinical signs of anaphylactic reactions are very, very severe, and it varies very widely. It affects almost all the system. So it includes respiratory system, skin manifestations, that is skin and integumentary, cardiovascular, and gastrointestinal. So what happens here you can see, like any anaphylactic reaction will stimulate CNS, that is patient will have a headache and anxiety, lungs will cause shortness of breath, and in the gastrointestinal symptoms, abdominal pain, heart will start to beat faster and the pressure becomes lower, and itching and swelling happens. So we'll see one by one how the system is affected. So if we see the respiratory system, the patient will show the signs of respiratory manifestations like nasal congestion, itching in the nose, sneezing, coughing, respiratory distress, chest tightness, other respiratory difficulty, wheezing, dyspnea, and cyanosis. So almost all respiratory signs will be seen in patient with anaphylactic shock. So in skin, this is a typical patient's face, how it looks if they are reacted to the anaphylactic hypersensitivity reaction: flushing, erythema, generalized itching, urticaria, and massive facial angioedema. Here, this is called angioedema. The patient's eyes will be swollen like this due to allergy. So we say it as angioedema. Cardiovascular symptoms include either tachycardia or bradycardia, peripheral vascular collapse. So automatically patients will go into hypotension. The blood pressure reduces, patient become pale, and weak thready pulse. You can, when you try to palpate the pulse, it will be weak and thready. Circulatory failure, patient may go into coma and death. So this happens very quick, so we have to be very fast in doing the management. Gastrointestinal symptoms includes, this mostly comes with the food and food allergens like nausea, vomiting, colicky, abdominal pain, and diarrhea happens in patient with anaphylactic reactions. So what is the management? So management, actually we have to do an emergency management and the pharmacology management simultaneously, because you have to bring them back immediately, otherwise they may go into a death. So what is the emergency management? It's very simple. You remember ABC, and pharmacological management you remember ABCD. So emergency management, what is A is airway. So first thing you should remember in anaphylactic shock patients, ensure the patient airway by positioning the head and neck, but make sure there is no neck injury. Okay, If the patient is having severe respiratory arrest, they may need an endotracheal intubation, that is we need to put them in ventilator. And if the patient can breathe, then put them in supine position with elevate the lower extremities. Why we need to elevate the lower extremities is to give circulation to the central nervous system, that is brain, because patient is having hypotension, and if you lift the lower extremities, then the patient will get little bit of circulation towards the head, causing increased blood circulation to the brain. Patient in severe respiratory distress syndrome may not be lying down, so they have to be in a supine Fowler's position. So this is how you should maintain the airway. You should remember that open the airway by positioning the head which is given in this picture. If the patient is unconscious and respiratory failure noted, then they need to be intubated and they have to be put on the ventilator. If the patient can breathe, then make sure that the patient's legs are elevated to increase the blood circulation to the brain and make them comfortable with the Fowler's. Breathing. B for breathing. Check the breathing. If they cannot breathe, start them on oxygen. So adequacy of ventilation is very important. Put them on oxygen and maintain the saturation of at least 91% and monitor the other vital parameters like saturation. Along with the saturation, respiratory rate, heart rate, everything has to be monitored. Treat bronchospasm as necessary, that we will be discussing in the medication. So how you will treat bronchospasm? You give a corticosteroid and anti-allergic or antihistamines. Equipment for endotracheal intubation, that is for artificial ventilation, has to be kept ready because any moment they may go into respiratory failure. So start them on oxygen, check their respiratory rate and the other parameters, check their saturation and treat for bronchospasm. The next is circulation. C for circulation. Minimize or eliminate continued exposure to causative agent. Remember, once you diagnose what is the allergen, then you need to stop. For example, you are giving an infusion, that is the reason for anaphylactic reaction, then you need to discontinue the infusion immediately. Assess adequacy of perfusion by taking pulse, blood pressure and capillary refill time. So you have to check the circulation by checking pulse, blood pressure and capillary refill. You insert an IV cannula, a bigger size, because they need lot of resuscitation medicines. So 16 or 18 gauge catheter has to be inserted and the second IV line has to be, so your patient needs 2 IV lines. One has to be, at least one should be a large bore needle. If a vasopressor or like a dopamine is necessary, the patient requires immediate transfer to ICU. So if you are going to start the patient on supports like medicine like dopamine, then they need to be moved to a intensive care unit. So this you should remember. A is airway. Open the airway. If they have a respiratory failure, then put them on intubation or keep ready. Breathing, start them on oxygen and monitor the respiratory rate. And circulation, you have to insert IV cannulas and check what is the causative agent and make sure that it is not given again, and monitor the pulse, blood pressure and capillary refill. And remember, positioning is very, very important. What is the pharmacological management? We said that A, B, C, D. Here A is for adrenaline. This is the very, very essential drug in anaphylactic shock because the patient needs epinephrine immediately as a intramuscular every 10 to 20 minutes or as necessary. So this usually we advise the patient to have a EpiPen. I will show you in the next slide, so that they can, if anywhere they have any allergic reaction, they can take an adrenaline shot. So they will be taught for the medicine how to take it. So usually epinephrine is the best medicine, adrenaline, which is given 0.3 to 0.5 mg given intramuscularly, usually on the anterolateral thigh every 10 to 20 minutes. The next one is B is for Benadryl or bronchodilator. So Benadryl is an antihistamine drug which is given to prevent the anaphylactic reactions, that is diphenylhydramine. May be administered intravenously or intramuscularly. So it is an antihistamine drug which is used to treat the allergy, or you have to give a bronchodilator in cases with patient with bronchospasm. What is the example of bronchodilator is Deriphyllin or Theophylline. The next is C is for corticosteroids. These are very, very essential when patient shows cytokine reactions, like patient is collapsing, the respiratory failure, going into respiratory failure, bronchospasm, and that cases corticosteroids are very, very helpful. Corticosteroids do not benefit acute anaphylaxis but may prevent relapse or protracted anaphylaxis. So it may not prevent it will not give an immediate action, but they are very, very essential. Hydrocortisone can be administered like 100 to 200 milligram 6 to 8 hours for the first 24 hours. And D is dopamine. As I said, the patient cardiac symptoms happens, the patient goes into hypotension. So dopamine can be administered in patient with low blood pressure. To improve their blood pressure, we can administer dopamine, and to improve the cardiac function. So in that cases, the patient will be administered a medicine called dopamine, that is for D, which can be given, but you have to make sure the patient is in intensive care unit. So this is the EpiPen, which is called adrenaline shot, which is given so that the patient themselves can take. The dose is here mentioned here 0.3 milligram, and it's an autojector. So if they push it automatically, injects the medicine. So here you can see a small boy is injecting himself with the EpiPen. So this is a very, very easy one which he can inject by himself if there is any allergic reaction. So it is called EpiPen, which has epinephrine. What is the prevention? This is very, very important to instruct the people about anaphylactic prevention. So avoid triggers. Anything allergic to you, just avoid it. So any ingredient or anything, if you are allergic, make sure you check the label, or you make sure that you check all the ingredients in that food before you eat, especially the peanut allergy, gluten allergy, egg allergy. Make sure that there is nothing added in the food. If it is a child who has allergic reaction to certain food, what you should do in that case is you have to introduce foods one by one at a time, so that you can find out which one is allergic to her or him. People who know what they have had serious allergic reaction should wear a medical ID tag. Once if they have an allergic reactions which is very severe, then they have to keep an ID with them, because in case if anything happens, the others can see the ID and they can treat. If you have a history of serious allergic reaction, carry emergency medicines. As I have shown, EpiPens are available, bee sting kit. So these kind of injectable injections which you can carry, you should carry along with you. Do not use your injectable epinephrine on anyone else. So if you are carrying it, you can use it as per the doctor's prescription, but not to others. Proper labeling of medical records with allergic history. This is, as a nurse, we should remember that if any patient showed any allergic reaction, you should document in the history and in the medical record properly with the highlight, so that the others can understand the patient's allergic material. So these are all the preventive measures you can do in case of anaphylactic reaction. So what we have seen so far is what is anaphylactic reactions, what are all the causes, how it is happening, that is the pathophysiology, clinical signs which includes respiratory, skin, cardiovascular, gastrointestinal, and what are all the management you do emergency management A, B, C, and pharmacological management A, B, C, and D, and of course preventive measures. Hope you understood. Thank you.